All right, everybody, today our science read aloud is all about conservation of matter. We're reading 2 pages today. It's a little bit of a long read aloud, but we can get through it because it's really important content. There are 2 vocabulary words, and that is conserved and energy. So let's go ahead and get started. Conservation of matter. There's one thing to think about when you make a mixture. All matter has mass. Anything that has mass is matter. If you have 50 milliliters of water in a cup and add 30 grams of sand to the cup of water, what will the mass of the mixture be? The mass of the mixture, the mass of 50 milliliters of water is 50 grams. So the mass of the mixture would be 50 grams of water plus 30 grams of sand equals an 80-gram mixture. That seems pretty easy to understand. But the mixture of salt and water is a little trickier to think about. When you mix 30 grams of salt with 50 grams of water, what do you think the mass of the mixture will be? The salt disappears into the water, so what happens to its mass? Did you conduct this investigation? The mass of the clear solution is 80 grams. That is the sum of the mass of the water, 50 grams, and the mass of the salt, 30 grams. The mass of a substance like salt does not change when it dissolves. Even if you can't see it, the salt is still there, and its mass has not changed. In fact, mass never goes away. Mass is conserved, therefore matter is conserved. That means matter can change shape, state, or location, but it can never be lost or destroyed. Sometimes it is hard to understand how matter is conserved. For instance, when you have a campfire, a large mass of wood burns, and all that is left at the end of the evening is a small pile of ash. If matter is conserved, where did the mass of the wood go? The fire produced several things. It produced smoke, light, and heat. Light and heat are energy. Energy is not matter. Smoke is gas and tiny particles of soot. Gas and soot are matter. That's where the wood went. The fire changed most of the mass of the wood into gas and tiny particles. The particles drifted off into the air. Gases and tiny particles have mass. If you could capture all the smoke and dust coming up from the fire and gather up all the ash, what would you find? You would find that the mass of the gas and ash would add up to the mass of the wood you put on the fire earlier. Conservation of matter is just one of the great truths of nature. Matter can never be destroyed, but it can be changed. As you continue your investigations of mixtures, you might find an instance where your observations suggest that matter is not conserved, but matter is always conserved. You will have to do some deep thinking to explain why your evidence suggests that matter is conserved. Big key feature: matter is never destroyed, but it can change. Wood matter changes to ash when it burns. That is the end of our read aloud about conservation of matter.